Good morning, TikTok. That sun. Ah, it's nice. Work. Come on, Lens Flare. Hey, what you doing? How are y'all this morning? I feel good. Out on my morning constitution. Know what that means. Well, hmm, time for another prison story. So, what's on the plate for today? I sit around and wonder through the rest of the day, like, what I'm going to talk about. Because I was down for 7 years and I was at a total of 18 different institutions. So I got a pretty broad range of stories. Not to mention, you know, as I've said in previous videos, I like to talk and I like stories and I'm pretty good at it. So, you know, I got lots of them. However, today is less of a story and more like a connection here for me to like y'all because I want to talk about music. And no, this isn't me plugging my music, even though you should go listen to it because it's fucking amazing. No, it's not that. Oh, and also shout out to my cousin Caitlin with the laugh. We both laugh like that. Legit. And it's great and amazing. She's wonderful. So we should talk about music because there was this whole thing, like, you know, back in the 90s, where when you wanted to listen to music, you had to have a CD. And when you had a lot of music, you had this like big ass case full of CDs. I had something like 800 CDs because that's like the thing, aside from random sex partners and cats. It's the thing I collected the most. And Garbage Pail Kids. I still got a whole bunch of them. They're so amazing. I love them. You should get some. And I uh, had all these CDs, but like, how do you shuffle between 800 CDs? Like, what do you do? How does that work? Like, legit. I love those lens flares. Hi. So, you'd have to switch between the CDs, and it gets really frustrating at times because, you know, how do you choose between 11 different Tori Amos albums or that really great remix of some obscure rap song by or R&B song by the woman who's the reason that Donald Trump is president. I'm looking at you, Brandy. It's your fault. I'm telling you, it's all Brandy's fault. MESS mess. But I love you, Brandy. You're amazing. But get Ray J to call me, please. Damn, what I got to do? Come on, Ray J, let's do it. So, I had to like swap out with all these CDs and it sucked. And then like MP3 CDs came out, an MP3 CD player, so you could like have files of MP3s on a CD, and you could have like 100 songs on a CD all of a sudden. And that shit was like amaze balls. It was so nice. And right around that time, I moved to New York City. So, like, picture a Franklin walking around New York City just a bopping, listening to Mariah Carey and Tori Amos and seeing like, fuck the world. And it was nice. It really was. So then fast forward to right around 2001 when the first hard drive based MP3 players came out by a company called Arcos. And I mean, y'all know I had one. 6 gigabytes of music delivered by USB 1.1. That shit took 3 days to fill up. 3 fucking days. But of course, at that point, I had already begun the project of digitizing my entire CD collection. So I would like put a CD in to my computer and then digitize it. And it would take like a whole day to digitize every song on the CD. And so I had this massive MP3 collection. It was right around the time too that Napster came out. So like a bitch was downloading and downloading and downloading everything. The whole point of all this is that I had a broad range of music, like something on the order of 60, 70,000 songs. And then I got addicted to meth. So I ended up becoming Louisiana's premier meth distributor. I broke bad before Breaking Bad was cool. And I went to prison. And let me tell you, people, you get in your car, you put on your streaming, and everything's great. You think, I love this song. This shit comes on and you feel amazing about it. And life is great, right? But like, can you remember every song you got in your streaming library? Everything you've clicked thumbs up on, right? Can you? I know I couldn't. So like I had all these songs that I loved, all these artists that I was just over the moon about. Jonathan Brooke, Tori Amos, Brenda Kahn, amazing women that are just incredible artists. And I'd listen to their songs all the time on repeat. And then I go to prison and I get clean. And you know what I don't have anymore? My fucking music. It was the worst. You know? I mean, yeah, you can buy a radio if your mom loves you enough to put money on your books. Mine did. Hi, Mom, love you. And Jane, hi, Jane, love you. And so I had a radio, but like, a bitch loved pop music, so I could listen to top 40 a lot, but like, it gets old after a while. It really does. And then you start to remember those songs. But that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the ones you don't remember, the ones you loved. And you like repeat that shit, spin it around, play it all day long. I love it. But you forgot it. You've been down so long. You've been struggling so hard to like stay alive, to not get beaten, abused, uh, the R word that I'm not supposed to say because it's TikTok. And apparently you can talk about starving children in Palestine, but you can't use the R word to talk about shit that happened to you. It's so fucking stupid. So anyway, I can use the word fucking, but I can't use that other word. That's crazy. So those songs, they don't disappear. They still exist out in the ether. You can't touch them. And that's what it was like for me until like the last 2 years I was in prison. So 5 years went by and I couldn't listen to my music. And I'd like call my sisters and I'd ask them, I'd say, hey, can you play this song for me over the phone? And they would, because they love me and they're amazing. Most of the time. Some of them all. And still, they play it for me and it'd be amazing. And I'd listen to it, I'd love it, I'd remember it. Life would be good for 2.5 minutes. And then hang that phone up. Thank you for using Evercall. You have been using Jamie. Then you go back to your book. And he said this. So how you used to be able to push that song and listen to something else and how amazing it was. And now you don't have that. And you don't know, at least in my situation, I didn't know really for the longest time when I was ever going to have it again. And then something magical happened, like straight up fucking magic. I learned. Don't ask me how. It's for another time. And I know you people like to distract me with stuff. It's not me. It's all y'all. uh, stop. Uh, that stop was for me, not for y'all. Don't stop. Keep on. And um, I learned that at the camp I was at, there's no like laws, not really any fences or anything else really around those camps. They're usually on like army bases, navy bases, stuff like that. Like staff for the people that are actually free and on base. And you can leave. You want to just walk the fuck out, you can. You ain't never going back to a camp then. It's camp life. Sweet when it comes to prison. But so most of the people that are on the camp, they work out uh, every day. Like they leave the compound, they go do landscaping jobs on other Navy bases around, especially in Pensacola. There's all these Navy bases around. So they get on a bus and they go out and they work in those places. And you know what they have on a Navy base there? A Walmart, bitch. A PX. So these dudes would get their girlfriends to go to the Walmart, go to the PX, and buy shit. And then they'd shove it in places and get back on the bus And by the end of the day, man, them guards don't want to check shit. They got to check in 200, 250 something inmates. They're done. They don't want fucking, they don't care that you got 6 pairs of underwear on you trying to sell. They don't give a shit you got a bag of protein powder. You got crack rock? You got meth? A gun? A cell phone? All right, well, get your ass on. That's how they act. That's how they feel. And hey, I'm here for it. Because all of a sudden, I had the same kind of underwear that I used to wear when I was free. Let me tell you, putting those underwear on, bitch. Oh, I felt human again. And then what you have to pay, though, because nothing in prison is free except that ass, and even that, not always. So I don't take them cookies when they're on your bed. Don't do it. No, creature, don't do it. So, if y'all don't follow Luscious Massacre on Instagram, y'all should. That bitch is so fucking fun. Anyway, so you have to pay double. So if it costs like the stuff you want at Walmart costs $200, then you got to put $400 with the commissary on the dude books that got the shit flipped. Now you get all your shit, which is really nice, but it's expensive. Now, since they can sneak all that stuff in, that got a bitch mind worried. And I was like, what else can they sneak in that isn't drugs? That isn't cell phones? That isn't like, I mean, you could get everything like shoes, sunglasses. I could probably gotten a butt plug if I wanted it. Hey. And so what I wanted though, and the whole reason I'm doing this story is an MP3 player. I wanted to listen to my music again. And you know what, bitch? I got it. Yes. Because my sister Jane fucking is amazing and loves me. And she went out and found a battery-based MP3 player. So I did not have to recharge it because you can buy batteries on the compound. Can't recharge shit. That shit is a problem. So you could eventually, because they did eventually release like actual MP3 players you could legit buy on compound. But this was before that. So uh, I get this MP3 player and uh, I, you know, I'm confusing this year. Actually, I found the MP3 player through someone on the compound who got it snuck in, and then I had to send it out through the mail. And the same process as the stuff coming in. Somebody sneaks it out to the compound, goes to the mailbox, pops it in the mailbox. I hope I ain't fucking nobody else up though. So we shall see. Who knows? And BOP assholes probably don't watch this shit. So hey assholes. So I got the MP3 player and I sent it back out and I sent it to my sister Jane. And I called her up and I said, Jane, I'm gonna send you a list in the mail of songs. And it's gonna make sense to you when you get your next mail package what to do. And no one else in my life, I don't think, at the time, would have been capable of doing this for me, willing to do it for me, and like actually do it for me. But Jane did. Jane is, y'all know Jane. Jane a beast. And in all the good ways. And she put every song I asked for on that MP3 player. Well, except for one. But there's a whole different thing there. It happens to be my favorite song in the whole world, and it ended up being a live version instead of the version I wanted, but I listened to the shit out of it anyway. But she put all this music on there. And it was music I hadn't heard in 5 years. And I could listen to it whenever I wanted, as many times as I wanted. And all of a sudden, I went from being like held away from the world and stuck in this place I couldn't get out of and yearning and just a wanting and a wanting and a wanting and getting nothing to this prison. This ain't shit. Y'all bitches can't hold me down. Fuck that. Me and Mariah gonna fuck y'all up. And I did. And it was great. But as a coda to all this, when the MP3 players that you could actually officially buy came out like a year later, and I got one, the way those worked in the federal system is you could download 15 songs a day, and you could spend like 15 minutes. And plug the MP3 player at the computer and you could search through like a million songs. And they never really had everything you wanted. They usually had like one or two things you wanted, but you download all 15 of them motherfuckers anyway. Just because, the way it works is like you choose the songs, you select them, and it takes a whole day for that shit to process and be downloadable. So then you have to come back the next morning, plug the thing back in. Everything you picked yesterday, you can have today. So you always wanted to front load that shit. So the next day you'd have your shit. Well, I'm searching through songs, and all of a sudden, I realized that in the MP3 player, and I'm stopping because this shit was important to me, that I had Jane fill up. I didn't put any Jonathan Brooks songs. None. And like, I love that woman. Everything she does just makes me like, ah. And I had forgotten she existed. I had forgotten every one of her songs existed. All of a sudden, I could have them again. I cried. I mean, I'm 6'3", 220, so I ain't afraid to cry in public. I mean, what the fuck somebody gonna say to me? If you're that much bigger than me, then you can say something about me crying. Well, I'm just gonna cry about that too. So I just sat there at that computer crying, listening to Full-Fledged Strangers and Nothing Sacred and being like, thank you, world. Thank you. And that's my story for today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Love you. Leave a comment if you want to hear something specific about further and ask me. I will tell you. I don't keep secrets. And I was there for a long time. Bye.